So you resentencing me again.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah,
I just did my time, I walked parole off. You saying, no, you're getting resentenced again. And I don't think a lot of homies understand that until they do the bit, come home when they had their life right and say, you know what? I'm doing it right this time. I ain't going to mess with the set. I'm getting away from the home. I'm going to go ahead. And then now you getting slapped in your head with all these no's.
Yeah, man.
Now you got to see if you really changed. Because the door is closing on you, and now you got to see if you really that dude that you said you was and you told your family you was in prison. And like I tell dudes, the most scariest day of going to the penitentiary is the day they kick you out of that joint, the day they let you out, because now you got to be somebody you never was in life.
Big Boy's Neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting on this one, man. Wallo is up in here. Wallo267,
Yes.
armed with good intentions.
Yes.
Welcome to the neighborhood, my brother.
I appreciate being here. You know, over the years, being in prison, seeing you all on TV, all over the, you know, it's just crazy to be here.
Hey, man, you know what's crazy about that, too, man, is you would hear broad strokes of like, yeah, you know, Wallo did this amount of time in prison. You know what I'm saying? And you did what? Is it about 20 collectively?
20, yeah, and then I did 5 before that in the juvenile system.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent most time on this planet incarcerated.
Really?
Yeah.
So you did 20 straight off?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did 5, went back, did 15.
Yeah, man. So you do that kind of time, man. And like I said, we get like the broad stroke of you being in there, right? But when I had a chance to read the book, you know, and I think that there's some people like we'll look at someone and we'll say, man, oh, they made it. Look how happy he is. Like we send these representatives that people pick up, but people don't get the story until you read or someone tell you the real story. And we could hear all day about how you were incarcerated. And you can have interviews or you can have conversations with some of the younger cats or just anyone alike. But you can't have a conversation with everyone one-on-one. Why was it important for you to write the book?
You know, I wanted to see the similarities and the struggles that take place in the ghetto that come up. And I wanted to see also outside of the ghetto, I wanted people to see the similarities of struggles that took place in my life, that took place in their life, and how I didn't give up. I don't care where you walking at on the planet. I just wanted you to see, yeah, I made it, but look at my struggles.
Right.
And look at the similarities that they had to your struggles and how I didn't give up. And you don't got to give up either.
Right. But it's sometimes, Wallo, too, bro, you know, sometimes it's easier to give up. And sometimes you have every so-called right and every excuse to give up. Everything is stacked against me. How do I do this? You know what I'm saying? And you could throw your hands up in the air. And we'll see a success story, but people don't understand what that takes and what that really still means to this day. You know what I'm saying? So when you see yourself at 11, at 13, at 20, 21, did you ever think that you would amount to what you are today, like living your dream?
I didn't think I was going to make it.
Right.
You know, because, too, so many of the homies was dying. You know, in our community, you know, you die. You got homies that die 14, 15, 16, man. 17, 18. You know what I mean? Whereas, though, I remember I came in the crib one day and my grandma said, I was probably like around 14, 15. My grandma said, you've been in more funerals in one summer than I did in my whole life.
Hey, man, I remember one time at 14, I had lost so many of my partners and so many people that we weren't even talking about therapy back then.
No.
And I remember my mom was like, do you need some help? You know, because I'm losing people at 14, and I'm talking about people that slept at the house, people that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like real friends, you know what I'm saying? And you look at those kind of things, Wallo, and it's crazy when you look in the rearview mirror, but when you look through that windshield, man, you like, dude, I'm going to veer off the road with this.
Yeah, because we normalize death in the hood.
Yeah, man.
It's like a funeral is normal. We don't even cry at them no more.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I got to go to the homie funeral, get dressed, go kick it with the homies afterwards. You know, you're going to do whatever, have some food. It's like nobody died.
Like it's really, and it really, for the outside looking in, like with Ani, that would be devastating to her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And with us, it's like, man, oh, you going Saturday? Yeah, it's an appointment, and then we know what the repass is, and you know, and we know how to kind of so-called move on and push you to the side.
Yeah.
You know, when you were writing the book, was it hard for you to tap into a lot that you tapped into?
Well, you know, a lot of it was just coming from the memory of me having, you know, I had a great writer, Raquel DeJesus, you know what I mean? And, it's always hard and difficult sometimes talking about things because you remember where you was at in that moment. Yeah. You remember whether it was struggle, whether it was pain, whether it was death in the family, whether you was incarcerated. you could connect with it vividly. And even when I read the audio book, when I was doing that, that's when it really hit.
Right. Because you're telling the story.
You're telling it, and you just like, damn.
And you putting yourself back there?
Yeah, you putting yourself there, and it's like, damn, that was deep. I'm surprised I made it. You know what I mean? I'm surprised I didn't give up.
Did you ever have to back away from one of the sessions? Or no, give me a break right now?
It was good because it was a good feeling because it was the roller coasters, ups and downs.
Right.
And you just like, damn.
And you know how that part of the story ends.
Yeah, you want to get through it, and you just like, because you know you made it too. So you like, I got to share this with the people so much. So it just be like, you just want to be like, damn, I got to get through this, and you'll push through.
In chapter 12, you kind of explain what the title means when you say armed with good intentions. Mm-hmm. What does the title mean to you? When you
listen, I always was listen. A lot of times in the hood, a lot of us be armed with good intentions. Mm-hmm. It's just that we got to take some bad roads. Yeah, we got to do some bad stuff to get to the end of the road where, and it's like we want to take care of our family, we want to do things for our loved ones. We just, and for real in the hood, it don't be to me, I don't look at it like it's bad people. It's just people that do bad things in order to get some good things out of it. So it'd be like a lot of times it just be like, I don't know, man. It is real oxymoronic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's like when you look at the ghettos of America, we respect the successful criminal so much.
Yeah.
Everybody doing America.
Yeah, man.
I'm talking about the judges, the lawyers, the district attorney. They love Godfathers. They love Scarface. They love Tony Soprano. You know what I mean? So it's like, no matter what it was, it's like, wasn't everybody? Was everybody? Some people don't, but a lot of people do that participate in the crime side of things in life. They just want to take care of their family. They want to do this. They want to get ends meet, and they want to steal the American dream. Because it seems like the only people that get highlighted or respected is those that steal the American dream. Mm-hmm. They get respected as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah, I know growing up, just some of the first people that you've seen were like heroes on the block.
Yeah, they was getting money.
Yeah, man.
They was getting money. Like I always tell the story of when I was a kid and I'm sitting on the step, and the East Coast, we got steps. It's a little different, and you know what I mean. Like the houses sticking together. Mm-hmm. So you step. You know what I mean. They smaller. It's not like here where you got grass. So I'll be sitting on the step. A car pull up. He got a Benz. He's playing paid in full Coogee rap Road to the Riches. He got a rope chain on, feline sweatsuit on, gold Benz, gold rims, and he coming to get the most beautifulest girl in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And when I'm looking at him, but I'm not just looking at him, Miss Johnson, Miss Brown, Miss Green, all them like, hey, baby. They saying hi to him, but they don't say nothing to Mr. Larry. They coming home, that's the janitor.
From work, yeah.
Or he walked by dirty. They don't even pay him no attention. So I'm like, oh, I got to be him.
Yeah.
And I think everybody emulate that. Everybody want to be that. The hood is filled with followers that camouflage themselves as leaders.
Gotcha.
Because we never did nothing. We never created nothing in the street game from the beginning. This stuff been going on since the beginning of the time. But I'm a leader. No, you just doing some shit that was done before you was here.
Right. The blueprint. You seen it.
Yes. And I think no matter where you're from, what hood you from in America, it's just a different name. It's just a different name.
Yeah, man.
Mom went through the same struggle. Dad went through the same struggle. Penitentiary, dead, turned out on dope, single moms. So a lot of this stuff is the same. I think over here is way different. I think a lot of times when you look at the West Coast, me being somebody that grew up off the West Coast music, like really tapped in, I'm talking about Ice. I'm talking about Ice. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about all this stuff. 8. I'm talking about really getting deep. I'm talking about Bloods and Crips. I'm talking about all that. And when we really did, I don't think we really didn't understand the West Coast upbringing. But when Colors hit,
right,
when that movie came out, I was like, oh, that's total. It was just like, whoa, like that's how it is. And I think that's when America got exposed to it. Like, hold up, Colors, like this, really like this? That movie was like a introduction of the West Coast in a different way. Mm-hmm. Like you seen that, and then and then we all in the same game come out.
Yeah.
So you don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. Like a lot of young cats. I remember when I put Young Cats Now on Colors. I'm talking about some of these big artists. They be like, "Yo, that's." I'm like, "Yeah, this how I really spread it." This.
And you know what's crazy about Colors, man? With any movie, you can look back at certain movies, like even growing up, Colors. I remember going to go see that in the theater. And they had to have gang prevention in there. We all in there. You know what I'm saying? You had to watch which theater you went to. And now I can look back at it now. And even then I can see some of the cheesy, like if somebody did a movie about your area, you could find the broad stroke of like, oh yeah, that's real. But then you can find the cheesy in it as well.
But we couldn't we couldn't tell. And
right.
I remember when the young cats be like, yo, man, you see Menace? I'm like, Menace is new.
Right.
I said, that's a new movie. I said, you got to go back to this.
Right.
They're like, what? You see blood, you see that, then you see Blood In, Blood Out. You see all these different movies to show, but that colors I'm talking about the documentation that Ice-T put down on that song.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see it and you see Don Cheadle in there, this was before Don Cheadle was in,
Right.
you see the Wayans brothers in there, you see Leon in there, you see all this, you like, hold up. This was different. You see OG Bobby Johnson before he was OG Bobby Johnson. You just see the whole thing, but the breakdown of that, you got that. Then you got the Bloods and Crips album. So it's a lot of information that was given to the outside of the West Coast that influenced what we have even now. And I'm looking at the whole thing and I'm like, oh, it's levels to this. And when I read Ice book in jail, he was telling me how he was doing a burglary, break-in stuff and all that stuff. But it was like when you looking at the West Coast, and I'm telling you, when I'm talking about I'm a encyclopedia, like I'm talking about that whole, I'm talking about everything from Easy, everything from 8, go up to Spice One. I'm talking about that whole, but I'm sitting here on the East Coast listening to Power Rule Love. I'm listening to Steady Dipping. You know what I mean? Must Crip Love on the Blue Lake like this. I'm listening to this stuff, and I'm like, because I'm trying to understand. I wasn't trying to emulate. I'm like, yo, this is different.
Could you see the similarities too in the difference?
Well,
the struggle, the hustle.
No, it was a difference because when I seen colors, I'm like, yo, you can't wear this, you can't wear this, you can't go there. You see what I'm saying? It's like I didn't think people people even when people emulated or what's the name, I always had a level of respect on it because it was like you can't play with that because it's a lot of blood and dropped off of that.
Man.
It's a lot of history, it's a lot of stories, a lot of hurt, it's a lot of and then over the years you read this stuff and then when I read Monster, I'm in a joint and I was shocked. That was one of the first like street novels that I read that was a real story. So I'm looking at Cody and I'm like, and I would always know, I would ask people like later on in life, especially when I got to the West Coast, I would ask about these people and I would even sometimes make call like, yo, who was this? Like, how was he? Because, you see the dude, Kev Mack.
Yeah.
So you'll see these dudes and, I always speak because I was interested in it early in the game because of Monster and all them stuff. And then when I seen Monster, people had a lot to say about Monster, but to us, Monster was the biggest banger in the world from that book. But later on, you hear about Washington, Leonard. You hear about what's my man Tookie. You hear about and then there's so many people that you don't hear about from different sides. I'm talking about I'm running into dudes in a joint from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that was gang historians that was breaking it down. I was like, damn, is that deep? You can't go here because they this. I'm like, so, and then
I remember it well, bro.
Yeah, it got so many different levels, but you got to sit back and be like, man, it's a lot of history, a lot of blood. And, and then the peace treaties that took place back in the day. So I just was like, damn, we got it a little easy over here on the East Coast.
Like hell you did.
We had it easy because on the East Coast and Philly ain't no game. You go anywhere you want to in the city. I could just go, damn, you from Old West, big, I'm coming over, homie. We just kicking it. I could just post up over here. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't about what I wore. It wasn't about what a set. It was about, I'm from this neighborhood, but it's not that deep. We ain't going to go through nothing. But now it was like the power of the East Coast was so powerful. I remember I was in a prison yard, and we was talking about the East Coast, West Coast thing. Rap, that's always going to be. And me and my one homie this one homie I had from Pittsburgh, we was telling the New York boys, like, yo, man, the West Coast won. They was like, how? I was saying, Snoop kicked the building over. And they said, what you mean? I said, after he kicked the building over, everybody grabbed the flag. They didn't, they grabbed the flag in New York. Dudes had flags. So I'm like, breaking it down, like, it was different. You never seen, not too many places where you see a culture could take over a whole city from thousands of miles away. Like, and you could be, but it's the portrayal, the media, the movies, the music. It's so strong. And you got to think about it. I grew up, I'm 45. I grew up back in the day. So the 80s, I'm seeing this thing at another, when colors, I'm seeing this at another level. I'm seeing it, just the whole culture, the Chucks, the Dickies, the 6'4", when Snoop said 1, 2, 3, like just you seeing the culture, you seeing MC8. Now I ain't talking about, I'm talking about Take Two with me, MC8. I'm talking about a different thing. You listen to the music from, over here, and you just like, damn, it was a movie to me. It was this ever-going movie, listening to the music, seeing the videos, seeing the Jerry curl. It was a lot of Jerry curls.
Right.
You know me, because to me, Easy was like one of the biggest things ever. I'm in a cell, and because I always wanted to know. I'm reading Impact of, I'm reading Ruthless by Jerry Heller, and I'm like, damn, my conception was major.
Right.
He put we all in the same game together.
Yeah, man.
So I'm listening. I always was like fascinated with just reading it and reading it and reading it and reading it, and you just. But that monster was something else.
Did you feel like you were paying a tuition into the school of experience where you would look back now, or you can look now and say, man, all this prepared me for what I'm going through and what I'm doing right now? All the reading, all the knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you're going through it, and you probably couldn't even see, you know, the so-called light at the end of the tunnel. No, you know.
My fault.
No
worries. I think a lot of times it prepared me it prepared me in a crazy way. Just understanding our culture, understanding music. See, hip hop was the soundtrack to my struggle that took place in America. Period. You might ain't had no food in the crib, but you had a rap tape.
Yeah.
And you could be in the mirror rapping it, you know what I mean? And it was like, that helped me so much. It prepared me in life to understand so many different regions. Because I would listen to music to get understanding in the education. Because music was a documentary of the region.
Right, right.
I was listening to Bone Thugs. They was telling me about Cleveland. 3 6 Mafia was telling me about Memphis. E40, Selly Sell, they was telling me about the Bay. Rapping Forte, Drew Down, it was like, oh man, Rapping Forte. Short, they was telling me about the Bay. And I always listen to music to try to get an understanding about the environment, so I would listen to everything.
Was music a getaway for you too, though, Wallo?
It was an escape.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have no food in the crib, the refrigerator broke, when I play that Public Enemy or when I play that certain music, I'm like, damn, okay, it's a vibe. It was just this energy that took place that will remove me from any struggle that was going. You know that's all we had, because we didn't have everything. But and I always tell people we didn't have anything back in the day, but we had everything because we had each other.
Right.
The block parties, the get-togethers. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, you know, our house parties was different in different areas, but it was like back in the day. And Gil always say, "You love back in the day." I was like, "Yeah, I love back in the day," because it's like I always connect, and that's why all the legends. I always make sure, rather sometimes if I'm in the car playing music or posting in my I always gotta honor the legends, because when I see a young cat out here doing music and he making $250,000 a show, I'm like, our legends ain't make $25,000 a show.
Right.
I'm like, man, we got some legends that went out bad or went out broke, or, you know what I mean, died broke or didn't have. And I'm like, yo, man, they laid down the foundation. That's why I always say it's supposed to be like some type of hip-hop union or something, bro.
Yeah,
because there's nowhere in the world, it should be like all this money that's taken is like, where's some of this money, lost publishings and all this, why is not going into a fund, whereas though a legend could always be taken care of? You know what I'm saying? Because and I was just talking to Heather B about this, but like, I love this shit. I love hip hop. I'm like, I don't look at it like, I look at it like that was my university. That was my education, because it's education on so many different levels. Whether you listen to Arrested Development, or you listen to Diggable Planet, or you listen to Ultramagnetic, or KRS One, or CL Smooth, or especially Gangstar. You know what I mean? So it's like I think Farside.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? De La Soul. The list goes on and on and on of these great artists. Razzcast, Miami Life, With Any Price, Keep My Pockets Right. F the Police, Miami Life. Walk These Streets with More Heat Than the Alonzo Moore. So I'm just locking in on everybody, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, yo, this is all the books I need right here. All these albums, all these tapes. And it was crazy because, like, about a month ago, I was in Portland, and I sent this list to Lil Yachty. He called my phone. Yo, this is crazy. I sent him 50 hip-hop albums from the 80s to the 90s and 50 black movies from the 80s to the 90s. He lost his mind. He was like, oh, my God, he like, I'm ready to go. I got so much work to do. I could check out all this. I get influence from this. I'm like, bro, I said, y'all got so much as young artists because y'all could go backwards. We ain't got nothing. Everything we know,
right.
I said, we ain't got nothing. That's why I said, y'all could go back and get all this new music. We can't. We ain't got nothing to get. You know what I'm saying? So
why was it important for you to send Yachty that?
It was. I always try to bless the youngin', because I be like, y'all don't know what y'all missing. I send samples and all. I'm like, yo, sample this. He be like, damn, it's hard. Who this? I'm like, and I be so shocked. I'm like, you don't know who this is? I'll be like, damn, you know, I was telling Simba, right? This yesterday. I'm talking to Simba on the phone. I said, man, nobody is coming out. I said, if you look at somebody like Coolio with Gangsta Paradise, I said we had big songs back then that was outside of any line of any genre, like that would go crazy. Like I said, you remember CNC Music Fest? He said, no, what is that? I said, you don't remember everybody, baby, let the music take control. He like, no, I never. I sent it to him. I said, this was big music. Nobody was just making music to make music like that no more. They don't do that. Whereas there's a song that transcends cultures and everything to just go. Whew. I said, everybody is focused on taking a certain crowd. I said, Simba, when I grew up, and I'm not trying to just beat y'all with yesterday, we had it better than y'all. He said, why? I said, because all music, all hip hop was ours. Y'all segregated and say, I only listen to trap. No, I could create me a mixtape right now, record it, and I could have Ice-T, next song Dollaz Soul, next song Das Effects, next song Spice One, next song E40, next song. I said I could keep going. I said, but y'all can't do that right now because y'all only can listen to one sound of music. Because I'm a real dude, so I only listen to trap. You see what I'm saying? And you can miss out. You can miss out on things. Like Kendrick was able to, like with a Kendrick was able to walk you down and put everybody in as a fan. And that's hard. Like he was able to like, yeah, I'm looking out my window. I'm telling you the story of my environment, but you get it. It was the energy to get, it don't matter if you're white, black, green, red, everybody involved, and even the hardest dude that's banging on the street. Like, damn, you can't, listen, when Money Tree come on, you can't deny it when him and J-Rock go crazy on that. You can't deny it.
Kendrick is like and we always say Kendrick is like an artist. And I don't mean artist like, you know, as a performer. I mean like an artist. He know how to use his voice as an instrument as well, you know? And that's why when I look at the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, I'm like, man, people can rock to that. But if that's how you found Kendrick, do the homework as well.
No. What was so crazy is that Kendrick was chilling so much. A lot of people just discovered him.
Right.
They don't know we gonna be all right.
Yeah, man.
They don't understand, but they don't understand Money Tree. They don't understand the passion of J-Rock when he walked on that joint. So it's a lot. It's just a lot. But what Kendrick do, the reason he could get the artist thing is because when we talking about rap music, we're not talking about surface level rap. We're talking about an artist that's he's really hip hop. He's really go to the backpack to where as though it's not just I'm gonna make you move, I'm gonna make you think. It's a difference because if you look at our culture, one of the greatest professors and teachers that we had within the culture of the struggle was comedians. Because comedians make you laugh. You in order to listen, you got to make them laugh. Because when we
gotta have that hook.
We gotta have that hook. You see, George was just up here the other day. He was going. It was so much ism he was dropping, but you was laughing too.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is when you think about it, it ain't nothing but candy covered medicine, and that's what Kendrick do. He gonna give it to you. He might make you move, but he gonna make you think.
Right.
That's a problem, because a lot of times in his music, it's a problem because when he come out and say I'm gonna make you think, now he got to go up against the machine. It's a machine that say, nah, nigga, I don't want him to think.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
Yeah.
That's what makes it scary. Me and my homeboy.
But you even catch people that say, man, it's too much. I got to think too much. I'm like, really?
That's what you're supposed to do. Think.
Yeah, man.
And the problem is we created, like I always tell people, we have now, hip-hop have now an unloyal fan base where it's sway from what's ever hot at the moment. They could be on you. They could be on you today.
Yep.
And then next week, oh yeah, Big Boy, Boy, that's old noise.
Yeah,
that's
man.
old.
I hear it all the time. And I tell people, man, it's like you here today, gone tonight. And you could drop an album and it's like, man, when the next one come? You're like, dude, he just dropped that album 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? We move on and we're frivolous, bro. But that's the state of hip hop too. You know, at one point we had different stages of hip hop, and I rolled through a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is just where we are. And at one point, a few years ago, Wallo, hip hop was a little more goofy. Yeah. You know, it was sounding crazy. And now we seeing lyricists again. We seeing content again.
Yeah.
You know, we studying again. And a lot of the other stuff, that other shit kind of like it filtered out. And everything has its moment. But what I do want to get into, I want to get into you.
Yes, get it.
And I want to get into you, man. And there's so many similarities. And that's why I was talking like in your book, It's your brother Steve, right?
Yes, Steve.
Your brother Steve remind me of my brother Keith.
Okay.
Rest in peace. Is my brother Keith's birthday as we sit down and speak
You know
today.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Is your brother Keith's birthday, and Saturday was the anniversary of my brother's death. So it's deep.
Yeah.
And this was my older brother. This was my guy. This was the superhero to me. You know what I'm saying?
Man. And when I saw like the introduction to music and everything, like my brother Keith was the one that I was see. I never seen my brother Keith in a pair of shorts, but once in my life. He was the dresser.
Yeah, that's what Steve,
you know what I'm saying? And he was the one that made me love music. You know, he would have albums and he taught me about titles. And if there was something that came on, he'd tell me about the sample. And people look at me and say, oh, man, you know so much about music.
Yeah.
That's why when I read your book, I was like, man, his brother is like my brother Keith. This introduction that you knew it was special.
It was important.
Yeah, man. But,
and like, I'm talking about like, this dude has so many cassette tapes. And I would just, like, I was making my own mixtapes. I thought I was a DJ in the house, especially when the double cassette came out.
Oh, man.
And you could record,
and
you could speed it up and all that. Like, it was just like, Steve introduced me to the music. He would always come up with new music, and I used to be like, and it was just so much. And then when I remember when my nephew came on a visit. My nephew was young. This is his son. He'd be 22 tomorrow. And he came on a visit. He was little. He was telling me, Unc, I was listening to Whistling. I'm like, okay, your dad put you on it, huh? You listen to Diggable Planet? Yeah, I was listening to the Jungle Brothers. I was like, I'm like, okay. And it was just like, your dad gave me the game. I'm like, yo, we used to have me in the crib. So he had him in there listening to that. It was just like that transfer and just the education of music was one of the things that he gave me that it just like when I see certain artists, I just get emotional because I'll be like, damn, I wish Steve never met you. If he would have got the chance to meet you.
Yeah, I do the same with my brother Keith.
Damn.
And then I'm in a position now, Wallo, where I'm like, man, I'm next to this person, next to that person.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if I could have had my, and I don't get caught up in a lot of the if I would have, could have, should have. But there's moments where I'm like, oh, my brother Keith would have loved this.
Yeah.
My brother, and it's crazy because even in your book, man, when you were talking about, was it Karate Earl?
Karate Earl's a legend.
We had Kung Fu Eric.
Everybody had a black karate man in the neighborhood.
And he wore the Kung Fu shoes and all that, man.
And listen, everybody that got one in the neighborhood, everybody in the hood think they crazy.
Yep. And he would teach the kids, and he would walk around in karate pants. Yeah,
he had his waist tied with the skirt off and all that.
Hey,
all that
man,
type of
it's crazy how everybody had that one.
Yep.
So when I was reading the book, I was like, man, there's just so many similarities, bro. And there's times when growing up, it was my mom and 7 kids. You know what I'm saying? Our dad wasn't around.
Yeah.
But I also had to get into a lot of stuff early on to, for survival. Radio was the first real job I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Even before that, I made a way. You know what I'm saying? I made a way and a lot of things that you're not proud of. But when I was reading your book, I mean, man, you were on it early too.
Yeah.
That's why I see a lot of stuff now. And I'm saying, man, they doing that right now. And they got $1 million contract and they in their 20s and shit. Like most are kind of done with it by that time. But you were saying that your first arrest was
June 30th, 1990. I was 11 for 7 days. For like 7 days. I got locked up on robbery, snatching some jewelry. And ever since that day, all the way up, I never would stay out of jail for a year until now.
right.
This is the first time in the history of my life that I've been out of jail 7.5 years. February be 8 years. I never stayed out for a year. I always was on probation, parole. I never got out the system since June 30th, 19 now to this
Since
day.
you were 11.
Yeah, I never got out the system.
Damn. Hey, man, when you look at that, did you feel like every time, and even reading in the book, when you caught like the KFC situation, did you know how serious that was?
No, because they certified me as an adult that time, and at the district, I was like, hold up, no, I'm a minor,
right?
Because
you're hearing what other people are hearing too, though.
I'm still playing the minor game because I'm used to listen. My whole thing was I'm gonna get locked up, plead guilty, get mercy of the court. They're gonna give me a little light job. I'm gonna be back at it another year. You know what I mean? Because I got so institutionalized, whereas though the joint, and it's like homies here. The joint is like that's like campus. That's like college. The homies there. We
go
can
back,
chill. Go see the homies, kick it with them. Yo, man, I was out there. I seen your girl, man. It was simple like that. It was like a home pass. So it was like, I ain't care. But when they said, hold up, you're an adult now? I said, no, I can't. No, I'm 17. I'm not no adult. I didn't know they certify you at the district, and now you got to go to court to try to get decertified to try to be a kid again. I'm like, no, I'm a kid now. Keep me a kid. Why we got to do this? And then that's when I knew it got real. You going up top. You going to the penitentiary.
And in your book as well, I know how you were speaking on how you know, people like, oh man, you young, it's gonna be a kick out, it's gonna be, and we listen to that, like even to the point where they used to tell us younger, you know, hold the heat, so on and so forth.
You take a shoe, you get locked up with a gun.
Yeah, in your head, you thinking like, man, you know, I'll do sometime, but I'm not about to do all. Yeah,
they might even let me go.
Yeah,
because that's what they telling you, and you don't understand that. That move you make when you 13, 14, 15, that'll have you paralyzed when you're 50. Because it might have that felony on your jacket.
Yeah, man.
It'll beef you, and you think you keep getting these little run-ins. You think like it ain't nothing. They didn't beef your jacket up to where as though you can't get employment. Because when you do a bit and you come home in America, you keep getting resentencing every time they give you a no based off of some stuff you did 15, 20 years ago. So now this if you come in and you walk in today, big boy, and you want a job, they like, no, we can't give you no job because so you resentencing me again.
Yeah,
even though I just did my time. I walk parole off. You saying no, you're getting resentenced again. And I don't think a lot of homies understand that until they do the bit, come home when they had their life right and say, you know what? I'm doing it right this time. I ain't gonna mess with the set. I'm getting away from the home. I'm gonna go ahead and then now you getting slapped in your head with all these no's.
Yeah, man.
Now you got to see if you really changed. Because the door is closing on you, and now you got to see if you really that dude that you said you was and you told your family you was in prison. And like I tell dudes, the most scariest day of going to the penitentiary is the day they kick you out of that joint, the day they let you out, because now you got to be somebody you never was in life. Right. A law-abiding citizen.
And as hard as you wanted to get out, man, was it hard getting out?
No, it was easy.
Yeah, because you was extra set for it too, though.
Not just that. I was in the joint, right? And like, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I was in the joint running around 1,000 jobs. I had a bunch of jobs in the joint, laughing all day. I was energy in the joint because I wasn't in the joint tough. I was in the joint scared and funny. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is I wasn't no dude that went to the penitentiary and you know how you hear the stories? Yeah, I was holding it down.
Yeah.
I was there like, I got to get out of this joint.
Yeah, man.
I'm shit, my ass on the line. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just being real.
Are you 17 when you catch that case, Wallo?
Yeah, I'm 17 when I catch the case. And I stay, when I get to the penitentiary, they have me like in the juvenile part until I turn 18, then they put me on the big yard. So I'm like, man, y'all can keep me over here. I'm 18. I don't give a, because I'm paranoid. I ain't going to hold you. I'm shook. Like, this is a story. And the reason that I'm transparent and I share this story, because I want these young cats to learn from my story, don't live this story. It's cool. Everything is cool that everybody talking around the way and through the music. I'm real, I'm this. But it's different when you hit the penitentiary yard and you done shot or you done killed somebody's nephew and you don't even know what his uncle looked like. Right. You don't even know his uncle in that jail.
Crazy.
You don't even know his uncle or his homeboy. You don't know none of that. You don't know that his cousin or his brother from his dad's side is in that penitentiary and you walking around clueless. And then you walking around the yard and somebody knock you in the head with a 10-pound weight and they take you in the bathroom and take everything that belonged to you on the strength. So it's like, I be trying to tell these dudes like, I was shook in there. But I was just thankful that I wasn't no tough dude on the streets that was doing something to somebody's family, whereas though I hit the joint, I got some real problems. So I was cool in there because I had some OGs in there. I had some homeboys in there, but it's like, jail, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who told these Negroes that jail was cool and it's a safe place. I got to kill all that. I'll be trying to kill all that, let them know it's not safe and you might not make it out.
Right. Hey, man, being so young in there, how much time did you do from that 17? You did 15?
I did 5, then I came home for a second, then I went back and did 15. So I did 20 altogether in the penitentiary. So I go from going to the penitentiary scared as a young man to becoming a real big timer now. You know, doing time and seeing the young cats coming through and seeing the fear in their eyes that I had in my eyes and telling them, listen, Neff, this is what you do. Everything gonna be okay. Yeah, I got to call. Now, my homie came to see me. What's the name of your mom, right? I'm going to give you the game. This is how you move. Because I didn't know how, when you get to the penitentiary, you just know I'm minding my business, but there's still other things you got to know. Don't look at nobody's cell.
Right.
Mind your business. You're going to see somebody get stabbed, killed, raped. You're going to see all that. That's none of your business.
Hey, man, when you explain that in the book about what the dude read, bro, I was reading that shook. And I was at home.
Yeah. Because it's real. It's real because, but think about this, big boy. Other people would have been read instead of being me. They would have told that story different because the marketing of tough in our culture, the marketing of fearless in our culture is killing us. Because what it's doing is we marketing tough, we marketing this fearlessness to our people so much that they think that's a badge of honor, and it's like, no, it's cool to be scared. It's cool to understand that you don't want to be here and that you got to think differently to get yourself out of situations like this, because everybody's tough. And I've never seen so much toughness. I'm like, damn, I seen this before. I heard this story. Because I'm the one out here now talking to the homies' nephews or to my homie's son, because for some reason, some of the most hardened, realest dudes that I ever seen in the street game that I knew and I grew up with in Philadelphia, they sons is in the street game, and for some reason, they clash with their dads, and they act like their dads were squares or something.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm like, damn, what's up with you, man? Holla at my son, man. He like your stuff, but he think I'm a nut or something. I'm like, what? And I'm like, your dad was a monster. He was chasing everybody around. You don't even know, man. That was back in the day, man. It's just a different time. I'm like, but you gonna go to penitentiary, you gonna have to use your dad's name.
Right.
But you don't want to respect him out here because he's trying to save you. And you got so many dudes. The sad part is when so many dudes get out the game too late and their sons and already got killed or hit the penitentiary yard. And it's like, homie, you supposed to been gave that shit up. You see what I'm saying? Wherever you from. But it's like we live in this thing where as though we got grown-ass men. We got grandfathers out here that's scared to get it set up. You know what I mean? They're scared to say, you know what? I'm a father, man. Let me go take care of the kids or whatever it may be. And when I'm speaking get set, I'm talking about around the corner, your neighborhood, whatever that is, all around the country. And it's like, it's hurting us, bro.
Hey, man, talk to me about Letters to Freedom. Were those real letters?
It was real letters because you be in the joint. I came creative. I said, damn, I need a girlfriend. I made Freedom my girlfriend. The idea of I'm writing these letters to Freedom as a woman, like, damn, this is my girl. So I always got somebody to write to. I'm like, damn, baby, what's up, man? I know things change, man, but I miss you, man. I can't wait to see you again so you can give me all the game on all the, the new things in life that you've been introduced to. I know when I see you, you're going to be more seasoned and a little different. You know what I mean? And I'm understanding about that. I ain't going to judge you for the chances, for the changes you made in life and this and the third. Just keep me.
And you would literally write that?
Yeah, I'm writing it like this is my girl. Like, it's like I'm writing to this woman and I'm writing to her. It's like, just like a woman, you've been in jail so much long, things change. She done met different people. She done been different places. Mm-hmm. She done ate different food. Things done change. Life done change. New job, new opportunities, technology.
Yeah.
But that's my girl, Freedom. The idea of being free and what the free world is. When I hit, I know it's going to be a bunch of things to change. Not the things I ain't experienced to. So that was my imagination that was able to take me out of this wall and had me really in there laughing as I'm writing the letter. Like, this is my baby, man. Tell them, yeah, I'm ready to go write my girl, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Leave the yard, I'm in there.
Right.
And it's crazy because it's like I'm really writing the air. But in the pen, you learn how to use your imagination a lot. You got some creative people inside the joint, bro. Some of the smartest people I ever met. And, some of the nicest and the smartest people I ever met was in the joint. Some of the most respectable people. And somebody said, how do you meet respectable people in jail? I said, I can't speak to the California penitentiary system. I can only speak to the Pennsylvania state penitentiary system. I wasn't in the feds. And I knew the level of danger that could come if me and you had a problem. I would see dudes bump each other, like real dudes, and they would sit there and have an apology festival for like a minute. My fault, brother. No, my fault, brother. Because they knew the severity of them going through it and how it could light the yard up. It could light the whole joint up and it could be a beef. So it'd be like, my fault, brother. No, my fault, man. I'm sorry about that. And you'd be like, damn, the level of respect. You know what I mean? Not making no noise on the block when it's Sunday because dude's sleeping. You know what I mean? Leaving, cleaning the phone room. It was just so much respect. I was like, damn. But if you cross the line, you could be done. So it was deep.
Wallo, when did you come home?
I came home February 8th, 2017, and it's been beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's been beautiful. Came home living with Nanny when I first hit the set, and it was just like.
What did you come home to? Because people can look at $1 million worth of game and see you and Gilly and y'all laughing and happy. No. What did you come home to? If
you look on my page, they see it because I reposted a lot. I came home in the middle room, Nanny middle room. Nanny got me. It was so great. Nanny said, I got your stuff. I called. She got me a dresser. She got me a twin-size bed, right? That, I loved it because it's like, damn, this joint remind me of the joint in the joint. It's the same size, but it was thick.
Yeah.
It was thick. So I'm like, man, this is.
You finding some kind of love.
I'm like, this is a king size, you know what I mean? And I came home to that room, and I came home to love. The room was the size of my penitentiary room. But I came home to love, and I came home to just being able to walk outside. Because I remember I would get up early in the morning. And where you going, boy? I'm talking about this like 4 in the morning. I'm in the bathroom shaving. I'm like, it's still dark. I'm ready to slide out. I'm ready to, I'm walking around all through the city. I'm happy than ever because I'm like, I couldn't do this. So every time I could hit the door, I'm like, I'm out.
Why was this one different though?
It was different.
Like from doing the 5, getting another little taste, and you know what I'm saying? Why was it
different? Because this was the one where I realized that I was in the penitentiary, not just because I was impressionable. I wanted to be down with the idea of what real was in the community. Mm-hmm. In our community, real is when you do crimes against the people that look like you. In our community, real is when you destroy your community. And I said, that's what I wanted to be, because I was afraid to embrace my individualism and be myself. So I had to emulate what I seen going on in the ghetto in order to be cool. If a kid go to school right now, he a weirdo. If he get his education, he this, he corny, he this. So I said, man, damn, I connected with that and said, damn, I'm in the penitentiary. I spent all this time of my life in jail because I wanted to be part of a fucking illusion. Mm-hmm. Something that I thought had loyalty. Something that I came with, you're going to get money. I didn't know this shit ain't come with no 401k. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this shit ain't come with no insurance. I didn't know this stuff ain't come with no college tuition money for your kids and the baby. I didn't know that the babies get left behind and kids got to grow up without their father. And, they got to deal with different men that might come into their mother life that's not going to be there for them. They're going to be there for the benefit of themselves sometime, and they going to be able to take the leadership role. I didn't know all this. So when I'm in the penitentiary, I'm like, damn, this shit crazy. I'm in here for being good. And I always had a conscience. I always was a good person. Mm-hmm. It's just that I did some things in order to be down and wanted to be accepted, and I didn't want to be called a sucker, a lame, or whatever.
What do you see now when you do sit down with Dirk, or you sit down with somebody, man, and you tell them, and not just about Dirk, mm-hmm. but when you see what goes on right now and knowing how much you put in, and like your tuition into the School of Experience is 20 years. Mm-hmm. When you see someone or the state of hip hop and what we glorify right now, what do you feel when you see that?
You know what's crazy about Dirk? I'm gonna tell you the backstory about that. So me and Dirk was going back and forth about the interview for like 6 months. And he kept saying, we got to do this one right. This got to be special. It wasn't for the $1 million. He was like, I need to find a time. He was always trying to find a time. He was like, I got to find a time where I get you around all the homies. I need you to be there. Because Dirk done been in situations with me before where I'd be around him and his little homies, and I always put the check in the shit. Or I say something like, he like, I need you to get up on him. I need them to be up close on you. So when we go to do the interview, he was like, I got the time, Wallo. We gonna do it now. We went to the hood, and it was like 100 homies in the crib. We was all in the basement. And I was just like, Dirk was like, people be saying something, do something, like, Neff, don't do that. Don't do it. He said, that's why. Get him low. He was like, get him. Dirk was like, yeah, check, get him. And he knew I was gonna say the things that need to be said, and I ain't gonna just see something happen. I don't care how much money you got, how many chains you got on, how many cars you drive, how many hoes you got. When I'm around, you Neff. I'm not trying to be young. I'm 45. Mm-hmm. I know I'm the senior right here, and I'm gonna speak to you as that. We're not hanging out. I don't want to go to the club with you.
Right.
I'm not one of these dudes that's trying to relive my second childhood. I love being 45. But I'm going to lay it on you right here. I'm going to give it to you, Neff. Whether you take it or not. Right. I'm going to tell you, listen, Neff.
I said it.
You want some dumb shit. Don't disrespect these blessings. And you got the homie right here. Don't mess his opportunity up. Because a lot of times, there's a lot of dudes out here, like in our culture, it's so separated. But it's not separated because of the artist. It's separated most of the time because of the dudes that's around them.
Right.
A lot of these dudes ain't got no real dudes around them from their set or from their area that can say, listen, man, we tripping, man. That brother over there, y'all really need to get together. Y'all put an album together. Y'all really, it ain't really that deep. We don't have nobody that's willing to step up no more because the beef be so unnecessary and imaginarily deep that nobody around. They got, like most of these artists, and I tell them, I say, they got all these yes men around. I see the artists at the beginning stage or a nice stage, they got 15 dudes around, then I see them 2 years from now, and they got 3, and they was like, you was right.
Yeah, man.
You was right,
yep.
OG.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, bro, it's quality, not quantity.
Yes.
But at some point, you'll figure that out as well.
Yes.
When you come home, you say, man, I'm pretty much right back at the same place. Mm-hmm. How do you start building the dream?
The dream was this. When I went to prison, one of the greatest things that happened to prison, thank God for this, is that prison fortified my imagination. I went to prison 17, came out 37. Damn. My imagination was protected because if I lived in the free world and I was out here, the average person, they have kids, they lose jobs, they go through heartbreak, they go through all these things from 17 to about the time they get 30, they broken down, and their imagination start to deteriorate. So by the time they 35, 45, they not even dreaming no more. So I go in 17, come out 37, but I really come out with a 17-year-old imagination that I can do anything because I'm coming out with this technology. I'm like, hold up. We got phones. You got to remember, I had a hot phone in the penitentiary. Mm-hmm. That's how I started my Instagram.
Right.
So I'm sitting here, rest in peace to my homeboy Frankie that gave me that iPod Touch and wireless hotspot. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, hold up. I'm going to smoke y'all out here. Because I'm operating over old hustler mentality from the 80s, and I'm like, you mean to tell me y'all just gave me a satellite in my pocket? I could touch the world with this shit? Oh, I'm going to smoke all of y'all. So when I'm going to do my content, they not even understanding the science to it. I looked at social media in that cell, and I said, hold up. All right, I got a battle with the girl that's butt naked, the dude with all the jewelry on, the rapper, the NBA player, the just neighborhood fly dude, this person, that. I said, okay, I'm going to beat them on the timeline because it's a battle on the timeline. Whole time I'm in the penitentiary and I realized money is traffic. Traffic is money. Traffic is money. And I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about Instagram. I'm talking about internet traffic is money. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, I got him. I'm going to beat him. This time I'm going to beat him. I always had, when I was in the penitentiary, shout out to Real Street Talk, it was this organization that I used to talk to inmates as they would come in, like 200-300 inmates a month. We'd talk. Real Street Talk was an organization of like lifers and OGs that they had me as one of the speakers to the young cats that would come in. And I was the youngest dude, so I would give them the game, and they'd be soaking it in. And it was this one brother named John Griffin, and he was one of the security of the Nation of Islam from Philadelphia back in the day. And Nation of Islam in Philadelphia was the head of security for the Nation of Islam in the country. He didn't secure Malcolm X. He didn't secure Muhammad Ali. So he told me one day after one of the speeches, he was like, yo, man, not too many young brothers that I hear talk connect with multi-generational like this. Keep doing this when you get out. So when I get out, I'm like, I'm going to do these videos, but I'm like, damn, I got to catch. So you'll see me laying on the ground with ketchup on my head like I got shot in the head. And you'll see that as what's name? You know, it was a brother over here that he did my video over. He laid on the ground in his face.
Yeah.
They ain't call your daddy. Like, I did that first. Shout out to him that took it and made it art out of it. But I'm laying on the ground with ketchup on my head in North Philadelphia, and I'm laying there, and I'll never forget, I got a young cat shoot me, and I said, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until the ambulance getting closer, but you think it's going farther because you were checking out to want to change your life. And that was the whole video.
Wallo, I saw that video.
Yeah. You know the dude on the West Coast that did it, though. It was a guy, and he was talking about something. As soon as it came on, I'm the one that initially did that first. I had ketchup on my head.
Damn.
And they was laughing. They thought it was crazy, but some people caught the message. So you'll have that. I said, I'm a battle with, because I'm battling with the timeline. I had that. Then you'll have a video of me laying in the casket. Don't wait until it's too late. Because down in North Philly off of Lehigh Ave is this casket and the sign basically telling people don't. But I laid in that casket one day and I did the video. Then you'll have me in the morgue over dead body. Listen, man, this ain't where you want to be at. You know what I mean? So I would do videos that would grab the attention just to get the message to you. Because I knew only thing that y'all relate to is crazy stuff.
Right.
So now I started growing because I'm beating out the stuff that you see the butt naked girl all the time. But now you saying, damn, who this dude? He crazy. You laughing at it, you sending it to a bunch of people. So now so that's how I was built. That's how I was able to build my stuff. So I'm coming home and I'm telling you, and then I'm in the nanny room. I got $1,000 on the bed. I got $1,000 in the book of life. I'm going to take this $1,000, the book of life. I'm going to turn this $1,000 to 100,000. I'm going to turn that 100,000 to $1 million. I'm going to turn that $1 million to 10. And I'm showing you, this is what I'm going to do. I'm showing you my reality. And to this day, I never took nothing down off of my page because I want to let people know it's about your story, not your glory. You got to see everything that I did. This wasn't no overnight. I put the work in.
Right.
So what I try to do is show people, but I showed them Nanny Middle Room. I showed them where I was living. I showed them how I was up in there chilling, and that's all I had. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm here today, because I was able to put the work in, and that hustled everybody out here in the streets. The ingenuity that take place in the street game, I don't care if you're on dope. If you're a dope fiend out here, you get up every day and you figure out a way to get money to get that hit.
Yeah.
To put that, just like what's his name was saying, I don't really want to feel like I did. Take me to the place I love. He was talking about under the bridge. That's where I drew some blood. That's what he was talking about in that song, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you're going to get to the point where you could draw that blood, where you could put that spike in your arm if you want dope. You're going to make sure you get the money today. You get up and you create some crazy ways. It's just like, if you're selling dope, you create some crazy ways to get the dope, to package the dope, to sell the dope, collect the money, get it back to the man. Why you imagine what you could do on the clean side of the game where all you got to do is worry about Uncle Sam and pay your taxes? And if you mess up Uncle Sam, he'll put you on a payment plan.
Right.
You ain't got to lose your life. So the ingenuity that we got in the street game, I said, I'm going to take this over here to corporate America, and I'm going to hurt him because I always was a marketer. I always was a marketer when I was writing on walls.
Yeah.
Like
I remember that in the book. You was like, man, it's marketing.
It's everything. Listen, in this world, there's no BS, and you just look at it. You got God, and you got marketing. Marketing is they market what you need to eat, how you should drive, where you should live, what you should wear, what you should drink. Everything is more. We don't understand this. God and marketing. That's the most powerful thing in the world. That everybody is telling you all day, the billboard, the logos, everywhere you look. If you look in this room, all these different logos, everybody is telling you what to buy, what to drink, what to smoke, where to sleep, what to eat, who to love. Everything is marketed to you all day long. And I said that's the most powerful thing in the world, marketing.
Did you know when you came home that last bid, did it feel different?
It felt, not only did it feel different, when my brother, see, you understand, little Steve died in Nanny's arms in the doorway of the house that we grew up as kids. He got shot, ran down the block. Nanny opened the door. Boy, what happened? He fell in the arm, and as he looking up at her, his eyes going in the back of his head, he expired. I knew it was over, but because I had to go home and I had to be a man for my family. But when my niece came to that visit, May, and she running around as a kid the first time I met her, she said, "Oh, you coming home? You got to take me here. We got to do this. You're not coming back to jail, right? You done?" I said, "Yeah, I'm done." And this little lady just bossing me around. I'm like, "I'm done." I was like, "Damn, I got to be here for them." Mm-hmm. And that's why if you look at the TED Talk, I Forgive My Brother's Killer, that was very important. That wasn't just for me. That was for the community. Because the greatest thing that I did, I wanted to share that with him. And I didn't have to. I wanted to share that with him because the greatest thing that I ever did is forgive. Everybody want to be forgiven, but nobody want to forgive. That was the great, because it let this thing off my back where I ain't had to have this chip on my shoulder, where I ain't had to be angry, where I ain't had to be trying to fake look for somebody. And I was able to say, I could spend time with his kids, my family, and I could just focus on life and take it. And that's what I did. And that's why I'm here. It would have been a different story if I'd have tried to do something. I could have got killed, whatever it could have been. But at the end of the day, I think we live in a world where as though everybody want help, but nobody want to deliver help. Everybody want to be forgiven, but nobody want to forgive. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is about with me, sharing my story so you can see like, yo, this is different. This is something, but
man, I'm glad you were able to share it, bro. And I'm telling you, man, like, I think that it's one of those books where people can take from it what they take from it. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying? And especially, man, if I'm walking down the street and I see someone and they say, "Hey, man, don't walk down that alley," they whooping asses in that alley. Yeah. And if I got 1, 2, 3 people, I'm not walking. You don't even have to say it. Mm-hmm. I'm not walking down that alley. And I think that with the book as well and the way that you've been speaking, that's one of those things where I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. Wallo paid the tuition to the School of Experience for me. I made a lot of dumb decisions, but I also made some life-changing decisions because I didn't go. I didn't get in the car. I didn't say, yeah, I'll roll with you guys. You was the smart one. Yeah, man. But I've seen other people, even now, I see people that use certain things, and I'm like, I can't do that because I know what happened with that person. Your gift can be your curse as well, even where we are right now. Your gift can be your curse. And I try my best. You know, there's fuck-ups. We're grown people. We're grown men and grown women. But I really try to pay attention to, man, when that person did it, why do I think I'm going to do something different? Mm-hmm. It was 2 things that happened, 2 things I heard, right? One was from one of my homeboys' moms, and one was from my homie in the penitentiary. I was in a law library. I asked somebody, I was like, damn, dude used to always be in the law library trying to get out of jail. I said, damn, what you do, man? What you in the joint for, man? He said, man, karma by association. Mm. I said, what you mean? I was with the wrong cats, man. With the wrong cats. I ain't even,
You know, he had a great family. They always came to visit him, always made sure he was doing life for being somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. He said, these were just my friends, man. I was playing ball, going to school, and me being around them, me being, you know, I got ID for being somewhere that I wasn't with them. I'm now fighting for my freedom. He was down 12 years at the time. I don't even know if he ever got out. And then my mom said something that was deep. She was like, y'all keep doing, he said, y'all keep doing wrong. Y'all might as well go ahead and do right.
Right.
She said, y'all masters are doing wrong because y'all always get caught. I was like, damn, that is deep. I told her about that when I was penitentiary later. She said, go ahead and do right. Because y'all can't do wrong. Y'all keep doing wrong.
It's crazy when you hear the message later on.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people it's not like it's a switch. Like, oh, man, it just switched. I always tell people, man, a lot of my knowledge or a lot of the things that I learned was a dimmer. You know what I'm saying? Learning. And then I looked up and the room was bright. But I don't have a lot of light switch moments, man. You know what I'm saying? Even with my health. Yeah. My mom died at 57. You would think like, man, you just get yourself together. But now it was like, okay, the dimmer, then okay, yeah, you got to get yourself together. And that's the same thing when you sitting in the penitentiary when you heard right. You know what I'm saying?
Because that was the time, like, I realized, like, with a lot of homies, and it's sad, and I say this, even with the messaging, everybody alarm clock come on different times. Mine's came on in the penitentiary, and I was able to connect with all that game. But you got some good dudes out here, their alarm clock just ain't come on yet, no matter how much you tell them, no matter how much they see it. They just can't be receptive to the information or even to your reality and to the experience or even to what you're sharing with them. They can't.
That's powerful,
they can't because their alarm clock they not ready. Some people not ready to stop the bullshit.
That's powerful.
Yeah. They not ready. And you be sitting here, you be like, damn, man, you know how you see, man, everybody around you winning, everybody, you still on some bullshit.
The alarm clock.
His alarm clock ain't come on yet. He ain't ready.
Man.
He ain't wake up yet.
Have you said that a lot publicly?
Yeah, alarm clock.
I know, because I was going to take it.
Go ahead and use it, man.
No, not at all. No, but that's great, bro.
The alarm clock, so you'll be sitting and you'll be like, damn, he ain't wake up yet.
Yeah.
He's still
alarm clock.
He's still in a different place.
Armed with good intentions, Wallo. Man, and there's so much more I want to talk to you about, yes, and we got to sit down again.
Yes, we do.
We got to sit down again, man. I'm just on my time right now. I'm like,
I know, don't worry about it.
But I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. Thank you for a great book, bro. And I had a good read on it as well, man. And the audio is there for people that just want to roll to it.
And I want to thank you for all your contributions to the culture. You need to do more in-depth interviews.
Yes, sir.
You need to keep pushing. There's so many different verticals that you have. There's so much stuff that you could do. Keep going, big boy. Thank you for always being considerate when you moving, because you move for us. You move for the people that the world forgot about, and that's very important. And you document and you share things with the culture that we just wasn't up on. You put us up on so much game, so keep doing that, brother.
Man, thank you. We were talking about Black Sam as well, man. I appreciate that too, bro.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Wallo in the neighborhood, Wallo267. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much for having me.
Big Boy's neighborhood.